Hello everybody, Brad Talinsky, BackStory Events. We're back. We thought we were going to sign off, but if you guys were here with us earlier, remember me talking about how cool I thought that this boutique guitar section of the NAMM show is. And so after we signed off, I decided to run over there and just get a few of the really interesting, amazing guitars that are part of this section of the NAMM. And I have with us Jamie Gale, who is actually the curator, the guy that was from NAMM that sort of pulled all these different guitars together. And we have him to talk with us about a couple of the things that you see here. And over here we have Sheldon Dingwall, who is here with one of his basses, and we'll talk to Sheldon in a bit as well. So Jamie, how did this whole thing come about with the NAMM show? How did your role of curating these really interesting boutique guitars come about?
Yeah, sure. A lot of people don't realize that NAMM's actually a not-for-profit organization and that it has to take care of its members. And it felt like they could be doing a better job with the small guitar makers, and how can they really service them well? I've been dealing with the smaller, unique world-class instrument makers for many years, so they brought me in as sort of a subject matter expert. For the winter show last year, we put together the first boutique guitar showcase. Really wonderful. I get to contact guitar makers from all over the world who are doing something different, something unique with their instruments.
Yes.
And it went over so well, we decided to do a slightly different version at Summer NAMM here, a smaller version, of course, but still, let's make sure that we continue to show and service this incredible, unique instruments.
Yeah. Well, I grabbed this. This was sort of my favorite right here. It's so cool. I haven't heard what it sounds like or anything, but I just love this whole thing with the elevated knobs. And the back has a whole thing to it too. And what can you tell us about this particular guitar?
Yeah, so this guitar is from Enrico Di Donato from Venice, Italy. He has a really unique system where he's working with suspending an arch top. So that's a carved mahogany top where the only part of the guitar that's touching it is the bridge. You'll see the strings, the pickups, the controls, the neck are actually all only connected to that metal structure in the back of it. If you sort of turn it sideways towards the camera, they might catch all of that. So really amazing structure. The guitar has incredible sustain and snap clarity to it. Really wonderful concept. You'll see the massive cap there with the electronics, and he changes the cap on each guitar to be different size, different capacities for the sound of each guitar. This one was inspired by Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. The color of this is actually called Beatrix Yellow Combat Suit. And you can see
over here there's a silhouette of Beatrice right here from Kill Bill.
So,
awesome.
Wonderful instrument.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, sometimes these sort of one-off things can, you know, some of them don't look cool. They look gaudy or whatever. This thing is like a beautiful piece of art, as are many of the things that you've chosen. You have a pretty interesting guitar right there. What can you tell us about this guy?
Yeah, this guitar is from McSwain Guitars, Stephen McSwain out of Portland, Oregon. Really great guitar maker who's made guitars for so many of the big stars in the industry. Actually, when Slash wanted a present for his wife, he had Stephen McSwain make her a Wizard of Oz guitar because she's a huge Wizard of Oz fan. And Vernon Reid and so many other interesting people that he's built for over the years, and is always doing something quite interesting. And in this case, this entire guitar is covered in chromium, which any guitar maker who looks at this and just goes, oh, that's a lot of buffing. To get that all sort of together. Great rock and roll machines. Steve has a great way of sort of coming out of the American tradition and adding his own style to it. Always wonderful guitars.
And we're really fortunate to actually have one of these unique makers with us today. We have with us Sheldon Dingwall, who has this extraordinary looking bass. It's somewhere between an Easter egg and Van Halen's guitar, and I don't know, it just really caught my eye. And what can you tell us about this guy?
Well, this is a signature model for an artist from Periphery, from your area. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, Adam Nolly Get Good. And we've been doing basses with fan frets for 25 years, and the advantages of fan frets are huge. But when you start stressing your instrument like they're doing these days with drop tunings, low tunings, 7 and 8 string guitars, all of a sudden this whole crop of young metal musicians have realized just how great the extended scale works for that style of music, and all of a sudden it's just exploded. And so Adam, along with Doug Castro from Dark Glass Electronics and myself, we've created this instrument, and it is phenomenal, the response we've had on it.
So if somebody out there sort of in the middle of America would like their very own Dingwall bass, how do they get their hands on something like this?
It's really tricky to find one in music stores because they're usually sold by the time they arrive, but we have a list of dealers on our website, dingwallguitars.com. Currently our waiting list is about 8 months long, and but they're well worth the wait. They will transform your performance, they'll transform your musical life. It's a really cool instrument.
Who came up with the idea for this particular paint job?
You know, they've been doing swirl finishes on and off, I think, since the 50s, and it's one of those cool techniques that is completely unique, every single one. There's never any two that alike. And the factory that we use for this had been experimenting with it. And 2 years ago, I had them do some samples for me, and I just held on to it until last January's NAMM, because I wanted to wait until the opportune time to release it. And so you can get the black swirl on any of our colors.
And you know, this is sort of a weird fetish of mine, but I'm a sucker for a good pick guard. And I love the pick guard on that. It's actually genuinely unique. You know, I like how the holes are cut in it. We like racing. We like sports cars, and so this is kind of modeled off the side strakes on a Ferrari Testarossa, and a little bit on the Mustang. Here, could you just maybe Jamie, you can hold his mic and we can show
lift it up towards that camera
better into the camera. This one over here.
So yeah, the pick guard.
It's so cool.
The pick guard design is modeled after Ferrari, and we cut through so that you could, if you had a red guitar, you'd have red stripes. If you have a yellow guitar, you've got yellow stripes.
Well, guys, this is a great way to sort of finish our live stream from the NAMM show with these super cool guitars, and thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with us.
Cool.
Okay,
Thank
guys.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.